Professor Vertigast.
And tonight we're reviewing
Night of the Creeps. Now, Ghoul, I gotta say, this is an awesome and freaky new look you got here today.
Thank you.
I like it very much. So, we watched the 1986 classic B-movie, Night of the Creeps, directed by Fred Dekker, who of course directed the Ghoul's one of the Ghoul's favorite horror movies, which is
Monster Squad.
And this is another awesome combination of horror and comedy. Ghoul, my favorite thing about this movie is how Fred Dekker named everybody in this movie after some famous horror person. So as our main character and our personal hero of this film, who did we have?
Detective Cameron.
Who was portrayed by?
Tom Atkins.
The great Tom Atkins from Halloween 3, The Fog, so many awesome movies. And then as his plucky sidekick, we had?
Chris Ramirez.
Which was the name of the character portrayed by?
Jason Lively.
Who some of you might remember or recognize from National Lampoon's European Vacation, where he played Rusty. Now, obviously, with a name like Chris Romero, he's named after George Romero, the famous director of
Night of the Living Dead.
There you go. And then his best friend, Chris's best friend, was played by
Steve Mercer.
Who portrayed
J.C.
Hooper.
Hooper.
James Carpenter Hooper. The Carpenter obviously coming from John Carpenter of Halloween fame. And the Hooper coming from Tobe Hooper, who directed
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
There we go. And then in the love interest, we had Jill Whitlow, who portrayed
Cindy.
That's a hard one to say, isn't it? Cronenberg. Who was obviously named after?
Let's see here. David Cronenberg.
David Cronenberg, the director of The Fly and Rabid and Shivers and so many other body horror pictures. Videodrome. So, Ghoul, what was this movie about?
Well, it was about an invention from space coming down to Earth. And then a bunch of slugs come out and infect the world.
Turn everybody into zombies. Some fun time hopping between 1959 and then moving to 1986, where the movie takes place. Some good combinations of just pure silliness along with the zombie horror. Much like Monster Squad, one thing I wanted to touch on was a moment of real darkness. In Monster Squad, there was the moment where you find out that scary German guy was a Holocaust survivor. And in this movie, Detective Cameron has gone through some pretty horrible things in his life. And there's a pretty dark moment related to him as well, which I thought Tom Atkins played perfectly. So, a couple new things we're instituting in the show starting today. The first is our volume of victims, which is kind of a body count that we're going to do, where we say how many people fell victim within this movie. Ghoul, how many were there?
11.
11 humans that we counted, as well as?
Let's see, one dog and one cat.
One dog and one cat. Both turned into zombies, which was kind of surprising to see.
And both were pets.
And both were somebody's pets, which was kind of sad. And we're also instituting our Horror Hero Salute, where whatever movie we watch, the Ghoul and I are going to pick the person we feel is most deserving of being our horror hero of the day. And we both felt that it was Detective Cameron, played by Tom Atkins. Detective Cameron, Tom Atkins, from The Professor and the Visible Ghoul, we salute you for being an awesome horror hero to us. So, Ghoul, on a scale of 1 to 5 skulls, what would you give Night of the Creeps?
A 4.
4. Solid 4 skulls? I also would give it a solid 4 skulls. Lots of fun. Only a little bit inappropriate for the youngins. Yes, Ghoul? Hmm? No. Alright, we'll keep rolling. So, both of us give it 4 skulls. Now, we have to end with a joke, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
So, hey Ghoul.
Yes?
After the Night of the Creeps had their annual hockey game, how did they clean the ice rink?
I have no idea.
With a Zomboni. Yeah, I get it. You don't get it. Alright, hey folks, click like, click subscribe. We appreciate the views.
And ring that bell.
And ring that bell. Hey everybody, have a great weekend. We'll see you on the next episode of Professor Vertigast and
The Visible Ghoul.